Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Zach Young, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we're joined by Betty Nelson McLoyd, CPCC, a career advancement strategist who helps first-generation leaders stand out, get recognized, and land roles they actually want, without burning themselves out on an ineffective networking. Betty works with ambitious professionals who feel stuck despite doing all the right things, guiding them to build a strong personal brand and strategic network, especially on LinkedIn, so opportunities start coming to them. Through her proven framework, she helps clients eliminate wasted effort, establish thought leadership credibility, and leverage meaningful connections to accelerate career growth with clarity and confidence. Betty, a very, very warm welcome to Founders Future.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Absolutely. It's going to be a great episode. We have a lot to dive into. Before we do, I do like to start with your background though. So before becoming a career coach, can you walk us through what were you doing previously and what was really your inspiration for getting into this space?
Sure. Well, my inspiration was very simple. I graduated high school and I needed a job. So it started from there. It was the summer before I started college, and I needed to figure out a way to pay for college. I thought that at the time my dad would just, send me money, and that would be my job, and then I would graduate. But he had other plans. So I looked for work. In the process of looking for work, I learned a lot. A resume was needed. I didn't know what a resume was, actually. And I had to learn what a resume was. And I had to learn the interview process. I had to learn how to network. I had to learn how to build relationships. So all of this during the summer. And I did finally land a job passing out flyers for a political candidate, a local candidate at the time. And one of the things she said, "You're a very persistent person." She did win, by the way, but she's like, "You're very persistent." She gave me that feedback. I got to meet some really great professionals and be in that space. And from there, I finally landed a corporate job, my first corporate job, while going to school full time and working full time. And so family members started asking me, "Hey, what did you do? Can you do that for me?" And I did. Then friends, and then just grew from there.
Very organic process, but I always like to say you're always your best first client. And it sounds like that was the exact process for you. So I love that. So I am curious, when exactly was it that you started the career coaching business?
So that's a loaded question, because when did I actually start the business? I would say I took the business seriously, maybe fast forward to 2013. At the time, I was in my senior year of college. I was in New York, and I revived the business. Students became my clients at this time, and they were all landing their dream jobs before graduation, including myself. And one of my professors approached me and said, "Well, I hear that all these students are getting this job. So what are you doing?" And I thought I was in trouble, but actually he wanted to be my client. So
Nice.
yeah, so he became my client. We achieved his goal, and he sent me to another school, a business school, to develop my business. But at the time, I did not have the mindset of wanting to start a business. My goals were to climb the corporate ladder. And so I didn't pursue it. I would say 5 years later in 2018, that's when I really revisited and actually made this my business and my focus.
Okay. You got a taste of the corporate life and you're like, maybe not what I thought.
Right. Well, I got into the corporate life, and there was another layer of learning. So that I was completely oblivious to. I had a hard time. I had my first leadership role in my senior year of college. Now I'm in my senior year of college. I have a senior role, and I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know how to navigate the corporate landscape. It's a different corporate setting. It's in a leadership role now. It's not you're working your way up, right? You're in a leadership role. And my confidence is starting to spiral downwards because it's like, oh well, you didn't graduate college yet and you have this big role, and I have a master's degree and I'm not even in this role. And so I didn't know what I was doing. My energy wasn't as the same as it was when I first got the role. I tried to ask my boss at the time for some support. And bless his heart, his support was gather everyone in the room and my team and said, Betty's your boss. She's in charge and you listen to her. And that did not help. It
I
didn't
bet.
at all. It made things worse. So
Mm.
I lasted about 3 or 4 months, honestly, in that role, and it was very difficult. And I realized that, hey, if I needed support and I didn't know where to go to, I didn't know a career coach. Ironically, I did not know to go to a career coach for help, right? And I said, if I needed this help, someone else needs this, and that's the problem I
Mm.
solved.
Absolutely. So I'm sure the business has gone through a few different iterations throughout the years, as most businesses do. But let's dive into the present. Can you walk us through what does working with Betty look like today? How do you structure your work with your clients? Everything like that.
Absolutely. Basically, what I do when you start working with me, we go through the interview process. We want to know that we're a good fit for each other. Okay. And so that's why I do the consultation.
Mm.
And we start with your purpose. While I think it's very important that you pursue your career goals, I do strongly believe that it must align with your purpose, or else it's just not going to work out, right? Not long term anyway. So we dive into your purpose. What's your story? We start with that. Then we go into our focus, what matters to you the most. You do take a career assessment test. I don't
Mm.
like to use that word test because then people get nervous. An assessment, it's just an assessment to highlight your passion, what you're good at, and the fields that you thrive in, right? So we go through that. So like if you're a techie person, you're probably not gonna want to do something like, I don't know, work with your hands. I don't, something like that. And then we dive into your goals. We dive into your personal goals, right? Some people don't like being in an office. You like to work remote. Other people like to travel, right? That I'm one person who loves to travel, right? And you may not want to do that, or you may be someone who wants to be in the space with other people. So we dive into those type of goals. We talk about short-term goals and long-term goals. What are the most important to you? Then we set those goals, right? We have a specific timeline that we go through when it comes to the goals. So it's going to be 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and I check in with you. Then we do the actual planning, and I guide you through your brand development. This is where the LinkedIn comes into so that you can attract the what we set for, the goals that we set for. So it'll be things like resumes, growing your network, targeting specific folks so that you can be in that space, right? Then we talk about, this is my favorite, the personal advisory board. So your personal advisory board are usually the people that, let's say this, there's a lot of noise on social media. I'm not one of them. We're not one of them, but there's a lot of noise on social media, right? And so just scrolling kind of through social media and, everyone's giving advice, or even in your own personal space, first gens tend to go to our parents first for advice, which there's nothing wrong with that. But when you are you know, going for a specific goal in corporate, you need more support, right? You need people, you need mentors, you need sponsors, you need advisors. So this is what we do. I do is gather a personal advisory board, and those people will be a part of that. We identify them, then we grow your network. We do network development, communication is very important, and we go through financial planning because I don't believe in most of my clients, they average about 15 to 45,000 more after working with me on their salary, right? And we allocate we plan for the extra 15, 45,000, right? So whether it be in a 401k, whether it be we talk about life insurance, budgeting, trips, things of that nature. So that's the financial planning. And then of course mindset all throughout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I love the financial planning aspect of it. I've
Yeah.
had a lot of career coaches on the show, and I've never heard that before. So I really like that you've thrown that in there because, I mean, let's be honest, that's the reason why we have jobs, right?
Right.
It's finances. We got bills to pay. So I like that you
Yes.
throw that in there. That's very cool. Very cool.
Absolutely, because it's more than just having bills to pay. I'm pretty sure that when we were younger, we didn't say when I grow up, I want to pay bills my whole life and do nothing else, right? There are other things that you like to do, you can use your job income to build a business, you can do that if that's a goal. You can use your extra discretionary income to travel, live in Europe for 2 months. I did that, right? Or you can use your extra income to plan for retirement, but actually enjoy your dollars, right? Um, there's this book that I recommend, and I really, really love this book. It's called Die with Zero. I forget the author, but Die with Zero. I love that book because it says that, we spend our whole life just saving for retirement, saving for retirement. But then when you get to retirement, do you still have the energy and the stamina? I'll tell you what, I'm sure you've traveled, Zach. You have to walk a lot when you're traveling, right?
Mm.
There's a lot of walking. And if you're older and you don't have as much vitality, that may not be as enjoyable as it would have been in your 30s or your 40s, right? And so why wait? So we plan for those things.
Mm. I love that. It's not just career coaching. I mean, to me, that's life coaching, right? And
Okay.
people need it.
I've been told this.
Yeah. No, I mean, I just, we're treating the whole person, right?
Yes,
Because let's be
yes,
honest, we're not one-dimensional beings. I
exactly,
mean, it all
exactly.
fits together. So I
I
love that you're putting
agree.
it all together.
Absolutely, because when come home from work and you're like exhausted or you hate your job, it spills into other aspects of your life, right? You don't like your job, and then this is a situation I use. Maybe you're paying to work. There's people that are in a situation where they're paying to work, and what that means is yes, you're working, but it's just enough to pay bills. Like you're not doing anything else, right?
Mm.
Maybe you're enjoying your subscription, you're enjoying your mortgage, but outside of that, are you being inspired? Again, I keep mentioning traveling because I think that's super awesome, but there may be other things that you really love to do. Maybe there's a business or a coffee shop you want to open, and you're like, I don't know, I don't have the time. You have time. We can make time, and we assess that.
Love that. Absolutely love it. So you mentioned, and of course, being on LinkedIn for a lot of these people looking for jobs, very important, makes a lot of sense. LinkedIn, it's an interesting place. A lot of people have mixed feelings on it. So could you give us some tips on being successful on LinkedIn?
First of all, my whole life changed. So I'm a advocate for LinkedIn. My whole life changed by using LinkedIn. And I'm still surprised to this day how many people are still not using LinkedIn and referring it to, I don't really like social media, right? It's like, yeah, but it's LinkedIn. Yes, it's a social media platform, but it's not, the other platforms. Very important. I found my mentor on LinkedIn. I through a conference that I went to that my mentor actually invited me. Then I met my husband. Then through LinkedIn, I moved. I relocated to another state. So there are so many opportunities if you use LinkedIn the right way. And what I mean by the right way, don't just email or send messages like these generic messages to folks on their DM like, hey, you want to buy this? Like actually use LinkedIn. These are people behind this. These are people behind these messages, right? We're all people. And if you just treat it as I just want to meet another person, just go on there and genuinely meet other people and learn about them and find out what their stories are, and there may be some synergy. Um, that you can share. You can share. And LinkedIn is a platform where everyone's looking for something, right? If you're someone looking for a job, there's probably a recruiter looking for a candidate, right? Just simply simple as that. So if you see recruiter maybe not just necessarily just send them a message, hey, I'm looking for a job. It's like, yeah, get to know the person. Hey, I see that you're a recruiter. I just wanted to learn a little bit more about what you do. Um, I may be in the market, but, I genuinely want to just have a conversation. And there's nothing wrong with having a conversation. I'm still old school in that aspect where we're just going to pick up the phone and actually talk, or we can do a Zoom. We don't have to put the camera on, but I want to meet you. I want to talk to you and see if there's really synergy there, if we can do something. And yeah,
Mm.
so use LinkedIn. Please use LinkedIn. There were some clients who were apprehensive about using LinkedIn, and now they're using it. They're always on there. I'm always liking their posts, and just be active on there.
Be active and personable. Be a human.
Be a
Be
human.
a
Yes,
human.
yes,
Be a
yes,
human. I love that.
absolutely.
So
We can tell when
you,
it's AI. So
oh yeah, and it's like, why do I possibly have a negative connotation towards LinkedIn? It's just because my DMs are flooded with just pitches, right?
absolutely,
You got to earn the right
absolutely.
to pitch. You can't just
Agreed.
pitch.
Agreed. And with that, flooded messages. Don't take it personal if someone does not respond to you right away. I think some people are like, well, I see your light is green and you still haven't responded to my message. It's like, yes, you and probably 100 other people.
Very true.
Please,
Very
please
true.
be patient. We'll get there. If it's organic, people will feel it too.
Sure.
If it's
Yeah.
genuine.
So big LinkedIn advocate. Is that currently how you're finding most of your clients? Is it on LinkedIn?
Yes. So I find most of my clients on LinkedIn, they have that circle where they're looking for work.
Mm.
And I target those clients first because if they're in the job market for work, I'm a coach. It's not always about, hey, I'm looking for something else. Sometimes they don't really need to leave the job. It's just they don't know where to go from there. And so I, offer them a free consultation. Hey, let's talk about what you're looking for, and let's see if we're a good fit for each other. And sometimes, yeah, I find some clients who are like, yeah, I just don't know what to do here. I thought they would give me a promotion and they didn't give me a promotion. And I worked really, really hard in hopes of them recognizing that I did really, really great work. And then, and the conversations usually, well, did you tell them you're looking for a promotion? Or are you just hoping someone just recognizes how hard and how late you stay up at night? And that's usually the case. It's just hoping someone will see you. And yeah, so LinkedIn, I just send a genuine message, nothing, generic. Just, hey, I'm Betty. Just want to know if I can help you. Maybe you want to hop on a call. What are you looking for? Just genuine interest. Because also as a career coach, I really don't want to have to work with someone who doesn't want to work with me either, right? That's very important because I'm guiding you to your goal. We're a partnership. It's a partnership. I want you to reach your goal. I really do. Coaches are so special because they are rooting for you. They're on your team. They're on your advisory board, right? They want you to win. Um, that's where the fulfillment comes in for me as a coach. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
That makes a lot of sense. And I mean, it's pretty nice as a career coach, right? I mean, you see people need work. So that's a really good outreach strategy. Absolutely. So
absolutely.
LinkedIn mainly,
Mm.
totally. Are you on any other social media platforms? Or are you essentially fully focused on LinkedIn?
I mostly focus on LinkedIn, but you can find me on Instagram and Facebook. Working on TikTok. Clients have asked for it, so I'm working my way there. But mainly, if you really want to reach me quicker, it would be LinkedIn.
LinkedIn. Okay, got it. Business has been run for some time now. Do you have any employees or anyone helping you out, or are you a one-woman show?
Well, now, one woman show. I did have 5 people working for me previously because I rebranded the business and I had a different focus. Kind of started a little bit from scratch again, but the system is still the same. I know you didn't ask me for future, but I will mention that now. My goal is not necessarily for the first generation population to only be coached by myself. I want a platform where you can see yourselves, right? You get on the platform, you can get access to a coach, financial advisor, would love that because that's super, super still important. I think that career and finances go hand in hand. So definitely an advocate for that. And I just want you to be able to see content that mirrors you and your pain points because first gens have a specific need, right? Um, and you are first generation. I keep mentioning that. You would be identified as a first generation if maybe your parents are from a different country and or this is your first time working in a corporate setting, no one else has done it, or you're the first to get to have earned a degree, right? So you're first generation that I'm talking to you. And so I want to be able to have that platform accessible to my first gen so that they can get the help that they need in real time, even. And not have to wait for me. Because one person, although I've started this business and I'm growing it, I would like to have more coaches involved.
I love that. You took the next question right out of my mouth. I was definitely moving in the future, but very cool. I mean, it's about the impact at the end of the day, right?
Yes.
And Betty, unfortunately, has only 24 hours in a day, just like the rest of us. She likes to travel. She's got family. So
Yes.
yeah, expanding to a platform with other coaches, that fits the bill. Absolutely. So we talked about LinkedIn. Is it Betty Nelson McLoyd on LinkedIn? Is that the place to find you?
Yes, you can find me, Betty Nelson McLoyd. That's my LinkedIn name.
Perfect. Instagram, other social medias, is it the same?
Okay, so Instagram would be Career Coach B, and or First Gen Careers. You can go on that too. And yeah, Facebook, Betty Nelson McLoyd. Same.
Perfect. Betty, it was a pleasure having you on today. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Absolutely. And that will wrap up another inspiring episode of The Founders Feature. To our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to go and connect with Betty on her favorite LinkedIn, all of her other social medias as well. All of those links will be in the show notes and description down below. And if you are a business owner, specifically a coach, consultant, or agency owner, and you're looking to scale your business, and you really want to enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to hop on a call with our team and discover how we went from 0 to 30 million per year in less than 3 years. Until then, keep on climbing.